Traders, it's Ricky with Technical Solutions. So thank you guys again for joining us for another helpful video. So for today's video, I'm going to be talking about how to identify stocks that have potential, or how to identify the best penny stocks. So that really comes down to you as the investor to identify. I'm going to go over certain rules and certain criteria that I go over on the daily, usually Sunday through Thursday. And the reason I say Sunday through Thursday, not Monday through Friday, is because the market's open Monday through Friday, and I want to talk about the importance of planning and why it's so important to identify potential the day before. So once the market is closed, scan certain stocks within your watch list and perform technical analysis. And I'm going to actually show you exactly how it is that I do it. And based on the video I uploaded yesterday, you guys really enjoyed those type of videos, so I wouldn't mind uploading those on the daily. It's going to be pretty quick, but I really want you guys to focus on a certain the whole idea of this. And the whole idea is the importance of planning and what it is that I do. So I perform technical analysis on the top 10 to 15 stocks that see the highest volume throughout the day. So I'm going to show you exactly how I do that. And once I perform my technical analysis, all I do is identify potential and filter out stocks that are not at their prime, meaning that they're probably not going to do well the following day, meaning that the RSI is either too high. Overall, just different indicators are showing signs that it's not going to be a very profitable stock the following day. And to not overwhelm yourself as an investor, you want to make sure you solely focus on 2 to 1 to 3 stocks that can have your full attention, and that you have a plan for each and every single one. And I'm going to talk to you guys about how I perform a technical analysis the night before, how I filter out those stocks, just having at least just like 5. And then during pre-market hours, performing another set of technical analysis solely on the 5 stocks that I saw potential the day before, as in like the day before, and then during pre-market hours, perform a technical analysis on those 5 stocks, and then filter some of those out that are not opening according to what you expected. And then you're left with maybe 1, maybe 2 stocks that are completely meeting your criteria as an investor that has potential. And I'm going to talk to you about my criteria, and in no way does this mean that you guys have to use this same exact criteria that I use, because there's so many different ways that you guys can actually analyze these stocks. And I want to make sure for everyone watching this video, all those that are watching live right now, since I'm sure that because you guys are coming from the Technical Solutions, my Technical Solutions group, to comment down below just what it is, what indicators do you use to identify potential, if it's volume, if it's RSI, whatever it is. Just comment that down below and share it. And the reason I'm saying that is because the viewers that are watching this can use that information to see if that type of indicator is something that they see potential in. And that's the whole point of this. I don't want you guys just to have my point of view, but to see other people's points of view. But overall, never trade based on anyone else's opinion. Always trade based on what you see potential in, and always be the final decision or the deciding factor on where you choose to invest your hard-earned money. That's one of the biggest things. Never invest your money in what you don't understand, and what someone else is telling you is a good investment, because it's never going to work out that way. In the long run, if you don't understand how to identify potential and plan out a trade for success, it's not going to be the market for you, because you're going to become 90% of the people that lose money. And it really comes down to if you're not putting in at least 10 to 15 minutes in identifying potential every single day, probably something wrong, because you really need to be putting in work and not just hoping for the best and hoping that others can tell you what to invest in. Get right into it. And I'm not trying to be like rude or anything like that. You guys know that I'm very encouraging and very supportive, but I'm tired of people asking, what should I be investing in? Because that's never a question that you should be asking. Those are huge red flags. You should always be asking, if anything, potential in, or more in the lines of, how can I get a better understanding to identify potential, rather than what should I invest in? Because no one should ever be telling you what to invest in, and you should never invest your money in that. So I'm just going to go ahead and right into it. So I'm going to start sharing my screen and show you guys exactly what it is that I use. So I'm going to use the TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim platform that is free for you guys. I made a video within my helpful video playlist on how you guys can actually gain access to this for free. So go ahead and download that. All you don't need to fund the account. You just need your social security number and stuff like that. That's where I'm going to be performing my technical analysis. I'm going to use my PBP, which is my primary pick checklist, to talk about the criteria and filtering out stocks that don't meet that criteria, I'm going to perform a quick, 5 technical analysis on 5 stocks, so you guys can just see how it is that I perform them in my whole thought process, so you can use that information and use that thought process and implement it into your own, technical analysis with whatever stocks you guys choose to identify potential in. And that's the whole point. And feel free that like once you do your own technical analysis, share it in the group chat, share it in the comments below, share it in the TechBit Solutions Facebook platform, and the link is provided for you down below if you guys want to join TechBit Solutions. So I'm super excited. I'm super pumped. I'm really running on 4 hours of sleep. I caught a flight from LAX to Phoenix. I worked the entire day, and now it's pretty much 10 o'clock here Mountain Standard Time in Arizona, and I still have hours of work left to do, and then we're going to wake up at 5:30 Mountain Standard Time a.m. to trade, just waiting for the pre-market hour. So if I can at least fit 10 to 30 minutes to perform technical analysis in my busy schedule, I'm 100% sure that you guys can do the same. It really comes down to discipline and how much it is that you guys want it. So I really hope you guys are as pumped as I am. So I'm going to start sharing my screen and talk to you guys exactly what it is that I'm going to be looking at. Okay, so this is my prime berry pick checklist. So pretty much what I want to focus on are, these are just some stocks that I have in my watch list. I have a series of multiple stocks, right, in my watch list. It's more than what I had there. But pretty much what I use on my Thinkorswim platform is I solely focus on volume. So I click there, and then click it one more time. And then it goes from top to bottom, the highest volume to lowest volume. So I can see, the stocks that have the highest volume, just because I want to make sure that it has a healthy amount of volume. That's a huge indicator that I try to focus on. And no way does that mean that you guys have to focus on that at all. But that's just how I filter out my stocks. So Snapchat is one that I was following today, and let's perform a technical analysis on it. So let's go ahead and put Snap and start talking about it. So really what I want to focus on is I want to look at, a 5-day analysis, getting a better understanding on what's going on. This is one that I just talked about the day before and today during our recap today. And the reason that I find this one so intriguing and so interesting is because this gap that it's built. It has a huge margin of profit from 19 all the way up to this 23 resistance. So if you guys see the little bar right here, it calculates how much percentage change this is, and this is 25%. Oh, I'm sorry, I went a little bit higher. This is 17%. So definitely has a good margin of profit. How is it going to play out as a day trade tomorrow? Well, if it breaks this 19 resistance where it opened, drop, or where it had this huge drop, then we're most likely going to see a huge increase in volume. And a huge spike, most likely leading to an upward trend. This is just based on my analysis. Now, what I want to do is I want to focus on a little bit more on the day. I know that there's a margin of profit. Now I want to know how it played out today. Well, I noticed that it built a really strong support that it did not go below, and again, follow my line, it did not go below $18. We can validate that as a solid support. It bounced, came back down, didn't go below 18, went up, came back down, bounce at the 18, came back down, bounce at the 18, and then after market hours started seeing signs of upward momentum. Does that mean 100% that that's how it's going to open in the market once the market opens? No, but that's why it's so important to follow up with these stocks during pre-market hours to make sure that they're opening according to how you plan them out to be, the night before. So it all comes down to, just steps. So I'm going to put, Snap. This is definitely one that we put in our watch list as of yesterday, and it's one that we called out at 17. And for those that followed according to that, we're probably able to make huge amounts of profits and to hit highs of about, well, as of today, probably almost almost $19 from the lows of 17. So I hope my shout out for yesterday's recap helped you guys out. But now it has a strong support at 18. So we're going to put 18 here. And then it has a resistance still. It has a resistance during pre-market or during aftermarket hours at 1820. So what that means is it didn't break above 1820. So it was bouncing between this area. So when I follow up with it, I just want to make sure that it continues according to that. I'm going to set my alert here by simply right-clicking when it goes below $18 and when it breaks above this resistance, just so I stay up to date on it. Okay, that's it for Snap. Now let's go down the list and see what else that I want to focus on. FTR was one that it's been in a consistent downward trend. During aftermarket hours, had a bounce at 19, hit highs of about 126. That's huge. That's more than your 2.3% growth that you see every day. That's almost 6%. And it all comes down to how quick you respond to these bounces and where you plan out and where you can identify a good sell point. This SMA indicator shows that it was a good sell point right around here as it crossed this SMA line. And again, it really comes down to what it is that you want to focus on. The things I use for my criteria are RSI below 35, above $100,000 volume or 100,000 volume, and above SMA or EMA, showing signs of upward momentum. Now, again, getting a better understanding on how it's been playing out. So it's been on a consistent downward trend. Now I just want to see what's probably going to happen. Well, I'm most likely thinking that if it continues this downward trend that it's been leading to, we're going to see a bounce around 115 and 110, and then see like a resistance around 120. So I'm just going to follow up with this one. It has a support currently around 119. I'm going to put my alert, below 119, and if it goes above this resistance at all right, and the one that I want to focus on. This is one that I've been following up with within the past couple of days that has been a very active, market mover within our group. And the reason why it's because it's been opening very strong, having huge rides up, so a huge momentum stock. So if you can focus on how it opened today, it played out very well. And it really comes down to identifying the low points, seeing when it's seeing signs of upward momentum, and trading according to that. So it showed that it was around 30.29 RSI. So again, meeting my criteria. It identified the support. It started to bounce, crossed the EMA line, started showing signs of upward momentum. So I could have bought in there. And then where would have been a good place to sell? Well, if I buy in anything around 220, maybe going a little bit further back, so doing a 2-day analysis and seeing where the previous resistance was. I could have identified that, like, if it bounced here at 220, it starts going up. Where is it gonna, see a resistance? Well, based on the resistance, it's all, pre-market hours. It's all resistance at 240. That's 10% profit. I would have been more than happy just to lock it in there, but it ended up going higher. Great. Again, when it comes down to trading, although it can, it has potential to, go up to $1,000. You never truly know what's going to happen. Always stick to your trades. If you see that there's a support, right, that's showing signs of upward momentum, you identify that you're going to be buying at 220, and I'm planning now to sell at 240 because realistically that makes sense based on the resistance that it has at 240 during pre-market hours. Then stick to it. Stick to your plan and never break your plan. There's always going to be money to be made, but it always comes down to you as an investor to not get greedy and to lock in profit. I can't stress that enough on how important that is. The trailing stop loss, if you want to give it a little bit more margin for profit, and you want to give it a little bit more cushion, really comes down to you. But don't be afraid to lock in profit, because it's better to be in the red than to be in the it's better to be in the green than the red. I apologize for that. So how is this one going to most likely play out tomorrow? Well, I had a bounce. This is one that I called out during right before the market closed. Now I'm going to do the 1-day analysis. It looked like there was the resistance at 230. I really want to follow up with this one. This is one that I think is going to potentially be a good one. And then maybe when it goes below this point. But this is definitely one that I'm going to be wanting to follow up with. So it's MTBC. Current support is around $2.06. Current resistance is around $2.30. Again, more than 10% profit margin. So this can be potentially a good one. And I'm just going to do one more just so you guys can see kind of what it is that I want to focus on. Again, we want to look at day trades and penny stocks. So I'll try to do one that's more in the range for us. So I'm going to type in AUY, see how that's been playing out. 2-day analysis. Seems a little too high for me. I'm just not liking how high it is in the RSI. The SMA indicator is showing a downward trend. So I'll set my alert for this one, but this might not be one that I'm going to want to follow up with. Let's see. neck. Alrighty. Alrighty, so we see that there's a resistance at 220. It's showing that the RSI is a little bit higher. Obviously, it's in the almost 60 RSI, so that definitely doesn't show to be a good sign. But what I'm looking here, what I can see here is if we go a little bit further back, if it can break the 220 resistance, it has a margin to go to 230. Again, that's only 10 cents, so about 5% potential for profit. It has more margin for loss. So what I think this can be is this can actually see a huge downward trend. So this one has potential to be a huge gapper, meaning that it's going to most likely be in the red and build this huge gap. So it might see a huge drop like it did this morning. And that's not necessarily bad. I want to make sure that you guys understand, why it's so important to, as a day trader, to be able to or understand, how to chase red stocks, because when it has huge drops like these, then it's you to identify these drops, to catch it at the bounce. So catch it, maybe at 195. Again, not at the lowest point, but identifying that it's bouncing, that you catch it at a low point, and then sell it back where it was at, $2.10. Buying at 195, selling at 210. That's, again, your 10% potential. And it really comes down to you on how quick you respond to it. So I definitely want to follow up with this one. And it currently has the resistance. So I want to put to see if it breaks above the current resistance. And then the current support is around 210. So I want to put when it breaks below 211. And again, that's simple. And this is one that I'm going to follow up with. Again, you don't have to have up 5 stocks. It really comes down to you on what you really want to focus on. I'm going to have a really busy day tomorrow. So if I want to focus more on quality, then I'll stick to that. And that's really just it. It really comes down to you. Don't overwhelm yourself. Do what you feel comfortable with, and stay according to your plan. And that's really just it. Once the market opens for pre-market hours, I'm going to start planning out and filtering out, some of these 3 stocks to plan out my trades on, my price, the support, the resistance, on how it's opening during pre-market hours, my max stop loss, planning out my entire trade. So when it comes down to, the market actually opening, I know exactly where to buy in, where to sell, and stuff like that. If you guys want access to the PBP checklist, all you have to do is join the TechBlock Solutions, Facebook platform. That link is provided for you down below, and then all you do is you search the PVP, and then once you search it up, the actual file will be here for you guys to download, and that's really just it. So and if you guys haven't done so already, feel free to subscribe, but that is it. I hope this video wasn't too long. I know yesterday the video I made was about 40 minutes. I really just want to talk about the importance, and can't express that enough, on how important it is, you as a day trader, to do this yourself every single day. And I don't mind that I'm going to have to dedicate, 20, 30 minutes myself and share it with you guys, but I want to make sure that you guys get in the habit of doing it yourself, because I want to get rid of that question of, what stock should I be trading, and ask more of like, what are you looking at? Or, I'm looking at this, what do you think about it? I'd rather answer those questions than to answer, what should I trade tomorrow? Because I'm never going to tell you what you should trade, because you should never go based on anyone else's opinion. It always comes down to you to, make sure that you're identifying the potential yourself. Okay, but that is pretty much it. Thank you guys again so much for tuning in. If you guys have any questions or suggestions, please leave them down in the comments. And again, don't feel afraid. This is a networking platform. This is what we do best. We share best practices and share mistakes in effort to promote growth. So make sure you share, what it is that you're looking at, if you feel comfortable with it, and make sure you share, your ideas or potential ideas down in the description, not in the description, in the comments. And it can give viewers, a better understanding of what to look for. But for those viewers that are still thinking of what to trade for this upcoming day, plan out your trades and let you be the only reason you end up investing your hard-earned money, because it comes down to you as the investor to make the decision on what you're investing in. And if you want to see success when trading, then you have to make sure that you put in your own work in identifying potential. If you don't see anything that's seeing potential, then don't trade. There's nothing wrong with watching, setting alerts, and seeing what actually meets your criteria. You as an investor have to make sure what you invest in is quality. Just focus on that. What you identify to be a quality stock, then invest in it. That's it. Don't overwhelm yourself. None of that stuff. Focus on quality, and then you'll do good with that. So I'm not too sure if you guys are actually saying anything in the description. I'm extremely tired because of how how long this day has been. I still have a bunch of work that I'm gonna have to do. I still have about 3 hours of work. And then we wake up at 5:30 a.m. to trade. And then I have a meeting in the morning and stuff like that. So, yep, but that is it. So I'm getting asked one question or a series of questions, but let me go ahead and see if I can answer. So it's by Meg, and he's asking, Ricky, when are you doing a meetup for those who live in Phoenix? Let me know if you guys want to do it. It's definitely been something that's been thrown at me to meet up. I don't mind if we get it like a small group to meet up at a coffee shop, to trade in the morning, or to just, meet out for lunch, or to meet up at Buffalo Wild Wings and just, meet up with one another. I really would love to meet each and every one of you. I know we tried to plan something out in California. I was just really busy and I had a lot of things going on. So maybe because I live here in Arizona, it could be a little bit more just planned. So hope you guys enjoy for that. And then Ricky, do you look at the news when adding your watch list? Definitely. I use Technical Solutions group chat as a resource for exposure, and I also use news, because that's when you identify, when a stock sees a 25% decline or loss in their price. Obviously, everyone's talking about it. Then I add that stock to my watch list because me as a day trader, I identify that to have the most potential for margin profit because I can write it back up to where it was. And that's it. So definitely use every resource that you can to identify potential. So great question. So I am. Okay, so that is it. Thank you guys again. I can't thank you guys enough for everything that you guys do for me. Let me know if you guys have any questions or suggestions. Direct message me within the group chat, the Technical Solutions group chat. Once you guys gain access to it, the steps in doing that is you first click the link down below. You'll get accepted to the Technical Solutions Facebook platform. And then on the top pinned post, you'll have access to the series of group chats that we have available. Some are available, some have met their limit, and I'm working on that to expand it. But once you join those group chats, then feel free to direct message me within those group chats, and I'll go ahead and try to answer any questions that you guys throw at me. And like always, just do your work and make sure that you put forth the effort to be successful in this market. Because I know, like, if you guys really try in learning and identifying potential and really understand it, you guys will be successful. But again, we have to work for the best and actually working towards understanding what you're investing in. So I hope you guys understand how much I care that you guys do good, but it comes down to you to make sure you put forth the time and the effort to make it happen. So let me know what else that I can do for you guys. If you guys can like and subscribe, we'd greatly appreciate it. If you guys want to join our group, the link is provided for you down below. And like always, let's make sure that we end the week on a green note. Take care, guys. Appreciate it.